Good morning. Welcome to regular court session, September 11th. We have a full quorum here. Katie, certify the minutes were properly posted. And we'll stand and let's start with the prayer, James Ray, and go to pledges.
Our Father, we humbly bow before you this morning, asking for your presence in this courtroom. Father, in Isaiah chapter 41 and verse 13, reads, "For I, the Lord thy God, will hold thy right hand, saying unto thee, fear not, I will help thee." Father, coming from you, that means a lot because you created this universe, you created this world. Father, we thank you for remembering us. Father, that we can come to you with any problem that we have. Father, we come today asking for the wisdom that's needed in the court to make the decision for the residents of Walker County. Father, we just pray that your hand be on this court, that you guide these gentlemen. Father, we love you and thank you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible.
We have 10 items on the consent agenda. We got any items to pull?
I do not.
Accept the motion.
I'll make the motion to approve the consent agenda as presented. Second.
Moving second, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. Go to emergency management. We're going to get an update from the Florida team on the fires first. Wayne, you're up.
Morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Y'all will state your name for the minutes
My
first.
name is Leila Branch. I'll spell it for you. Lela Branch, BRAUNSCH. Public Information Officer for the Florida Forest Service.
Wayne Rushing, WAYNE, Rushing, RUSHING.
Have at it. There's all the information.
There we go. So I'm here to let you know, kind of, a lot of folks want to know why we're here and what our job duties are. So when they call in a incident management team, we're assigned to a fire and we perform duties as suppression activities, firefighting operations, monitoring and patrolling fire lines, and mechanical movement of fuel. So that means that we're for the safety of the residents and visitors and the fire as well. But that being said, I want to introduce you to Wayne Gresham. He is the incident commander.
Thank you, Leila. So first off, we want to say thank you for all the support from the residents and the communities around. I mean, it's been outstanding from you guys, the support that you've supplied with equipment, manpower, whatever it may be. So we're really grateful for that. We've never been anywhere and been treated like we've been, and this is second to none. It's going to be hard to go anywhere else. I can promise you that. But we appreciate it. So we'll start off with the game preserve. As you know, it's looking really good. 4,428 acres. It's at 95% containment. Probably going to hold it there for a little while to see, this reburn potential. And I think everything looks good, but there's always that question. So we want to make sure that we're doing our due diligence as far as working the crews and resources out there that we have. So the Gibbs, as you know, it caused a little bit of uproar a couple of days ago. Got a lot of resources out there on it, widening the lines, trying to make it where hopefully we don't have to worry about that again. There is some reburn going on inside the burn. They'll see a little smoke. You'll have a little concern. I understand, but we got plenty of resources out there doing a lot of good work. And thank you for the county that you've been able to use on that. So then the Collier 2, which is in a neighboring county, caused a lot of issues yesterday. We're managing that fire as well. We have a lot of resources on it today, have a lot of air resources on it last night. Everything's starting to look really good on it. So they're going to hit it pretty hard today, and we should be in pretty good shape on it as well. All right. Y'all have any questions?
I don't have any questions of y'all, but I mean, that guy in that chopper yesterday,
or lady, whoever it is, they are A+ at putting that water where. I don't know how they hit right there perfectly every,
Yep. That is,
every
that's
lone
pretty
time.
common, but there is some that may miss it pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have some really good firefighting resources.
Yep.
Well, and while y'all are on this, I had Sonia put together a list of kind of everybody that was involved. So it ended up being a very lengthy list. And, you know, it's hard to thank everybody, all of y'all for sure. The fire departments, all the VFDs were at the game preserve fire. We had just an enormous amount of help. Carrie was out there, her bunch was 9 o'clock one night out there still making sandwiches, you know. It was just it's good to see the community come together. You know, I mean, we had people from Madisonville, down there at one point in time. Like I said, all y'all's bunch from Florida has been great to work with. The U.S. Forest Service, Texas Forest Service, all the OEM, CERT, they were, I mean, just outstanding as far as getting resources to everybody. So I don't want to go into a long list because I know we'd miss some people. So I'd like to thank everybody for me and Ronnie both, because it seems like both of them are always in our precincts or something.
Yeah. We're blessed with the fires.
Blessed with the fire. I want to echo that. And,
Yeah, I mean, we didn't lose we lost some deer camps, but we didn't lose a single house.
there's some outstanding work that's been done. And to see, and I know you've seen it, people to be outside of their normal duties to be able to fill equipment with fuel or whatever it may be. Man, that says a lot about you guys. It says a lot about the citizens in this county. I mean, that you don't see that, and we don't see that. So we're very, very grateful for the hospitality that we've received. So far.
Well, we appreciate y'all leaving your house and coming to help us.
Right, and we're glad to be here.
Yeah, and you're welcome to Texas if you get tired of Florida.
The judge tells me that. Thank you, guys.
Wayne, can you touch on just a minute on clearing up some issues that people put out there of why y'all took over the scene and how that relieves our locals to respond to the next?
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, we were brought out here by the Texas State Forest Service, and because they're overwhelmed. I mean, there's a lot going on in your state. Texas is very, very dry. So we came in as a CIMT, which is a critical incident management. That'll come in and manage your larger fires so the local resources can get some rest. Unfortunately, it hasn't worked out for much rest for them, but they're able to go on and take care of business elsewhere. So we're assembled. We have some teams in Florida. We assemble out. We work for the state of Florida, work for the Florida Forest Service, and we come out. And this is typically what we do: is come out and manage these larger incidents. That's your question.
Yes, sir.
Well, guys, we proud y'all are here, ladies and
Glad to be
gentlemen. We
here,
just
honestly.
extremely honored to have y'all in our state.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Media got any questions for them before they get out?
No, we've even had some folks from California. I don't particularly like California, but I've met some folks that was pretty nice.
Yeah.
So a few of them.
Yeah, if you will.
They will fight
Yeah.
fire anyhow.
That's right.
Yeah.
Miss Howard wants a quick picture.
If you just stand back and I'll just. Stand.
Casey, come on up here.
Let's just stand on the side so you can see.
We'll all peek out.
Yeah, we're fine.
We'll
We're
figure
right
it out
now.
some kind of way here.
Miss Howard, tell us where to
We
get.
gotta leave a gap. There you go. She really is telling him. where to
Yep.
go.
And she don't really need us. She just.
Nah.
Pull me off this hard. I'm
Hold, 1, 2, 3, hold. Hold. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate you.
Thank y'all.
See y'all later. In case.
Thank you.
All right, we'll start with number 11. Discuss and take action on OEM project fund purchases. Mr. Davis.
Project.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
We have received project money and it's from FEMA reimbursement that is administrative money that Sherry did most of the work on. I helped, she did most of the work, and we have this project money But I would like to follow the county purchasing procedure to spend this money and not have to bring it to court every time we want to purchase it.
That sounds good to me. That was kind of my intent, I think, in the original, and we strayed some kind of way. But
Yeah.
Y'all got any thoughts on it?
Is that a
Just as long as you follow the purchasing policy, I think that's the way it should be.
Yeah,
I make
we-
a motion to that effect.
Because we allocate that money when
Yeah.
when we get the reimbursement, he'll request, hey, can I have some of this? I have an idea of things I want to do. So at that time, we're kind of saying,
I mean, as long as you follow the purchasing policy, if it needs to come to us, it does anyway.
Yeah.
well, if that's your motion, I'll second your motion.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries. Number 12, discuss and take action on paying HISD for Hurricane Laura sheltering expenses in the amount of $88,843.84 to be reimbursed by FEMA.
You've seen in your backup, you have a copy of the MOU that we have with the last city on that. And previous years, they've always had the Huntsville ISD be their own applicant, and in the Laura hurricane in 21, FEMA decided, passed through the state to us that they want them, since they have an MOU, that it come under the county deal, and they want us to pay the school district, and then they'll reimburse us. And we sent you the string of emails that we had with the state on this, and so we're requesting that we go ahead and pay Huntsville ISD and get our money back through FEMA.
Miss Patricia, where would we pull the money from? I know.
Ms. Allen, can you hear us?
Oh, I'm sorry, I was muted. The money could come from project contingency.
And you would make sure that we don't let this fall through the cracks, I assume.
I think OEM is working on that. I think the only question would be that if for some reason some of the money was denied, how would that be handled?
In my thoughts, if something gets denied and we don't get reimbursed the full amount that we pay out to ISC, there needs to be an agreement that they give us that money back.
And we can get a hold of the ISD and see if they'll send us a letter to them or something.
I think that would be good.
Yeah.
I don't think that it's gonna be a problem because the project went all the way up to the top whenever the ISD submitted it, and then FEMA changed their mind and said, no, it needs to come through the county. So, we're talking about since 2021, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been so long, I don't even remember all this, you know.
They've been holding the money.
Trust me, we do.
I know y'all remember it, but that's kind of.
Well, and most of
Behind
this
me,
was money that was, I guess, from sheltering and.
Sheltering, they had to pay overtime, they had to bring employees in, on their material and labor that they turned in to FEMA to be reimbursed.
And we have all their documentation. I didn't want to bother y'all with it because it's just, time sheets and showing everybody's time, and all the materials they purchased and food and all that stuff, but we do have it in our files.
Well, I knew they were cooking for people and all that, so.
And I guess the part about if they don't get reimbursed for it, we're gonna ask the money back. That one, I'm not really keen on that one, because we call them and they open the doors to us at a moment's notice. And this is, if they've given you paperwork, they're showing actual expenses. So I'm just like, we pay them and we turn the paperwork in. What we get back, It's still cheaper than finding another place for them to go. Because the school, if I'm in the school, like that could be one of those hard field deals, and you're like, sorry, we're busy this time. And then you got a problem. So,
Yeah, that's kind of my thoughts too, because if we actually are the ones that initiated them.
Yeah, we called them.
It's our bill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I requested they open as a shelter.
Well, and this should be the last one. I mean, we've ceased doing that, right?
Yeah, we don't We don't go to the school district and sheltering. Y'all passed it that we open the storm shelter when we get to 150.
We're done.
Lights no longer on, and that's all we're gonna shelter.
I'm better with
So
that.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
If there's anything left, then we take it off.
I'll make the motion to approve agenda item number 12 as presented then.
So,
Moving and seconded, all in favor, raise your right hand. Motion
Just
carried.
wanted to give the court some information. Last Friday, our app went live on, if you have a smartphone, you have a dumb phone like Commissioner White has.
Thanks, Butch.
You can put it on your iPad.
That was nice.
If you go to your app store, either on iPhone or Android, and go to Walker County OEM TX, the app will come up and you can follow us on your app on your smartphone.
We are still building it. There's some things that you'll go into. It says coming soon, something to that effect, but you know, as we see what we need on there, then we'll be.
And y'all are gonna have like a rollout plan for that, right? We're gonna try to get that out. That
Yes,
little-
we're
Do you have a
gonna,
little-
it just come, it went live last Friday and I wanted to let the court know that it is live. And we're going to put it out to the media and we'll put it out countywide and put it on Facebook.
Do you have your little QR code thing already made? Is it already there? Okay, so I think that's important that once we have it, that we can get it out to everybody. I mean, there's a whole lot of ways to reach a lot of people. And I think we just need, I talked to the guy that was helping you put it together and he's supposed to help you with that. But like even now, putting your QR code on your OEM page would be, I think it'd be a plus. Get it off nobody goes to our county website. I don't go to our county website. And just stick it on your Facebook page and get that QR code and I'll share it and help you spread the word out there too. So thanks, guys.
well, and again, thank y'all for the fire. Y'all
Absolutely.
have put in enormous amount of hours. You ensure.
Yeah, I know. I see all of y'all out there, you know, and see the
Your whole
judge
team.
out there.
The CERT team, you know, people don't realize all that stuff is voluntary, you know, and people are giving up time to come out and help.
Yeah.
And it's not just during the day. I mean, they're there all time of night, so.
We can call our CERT team anytime and, you know, they're right there. Yeah, most of them.
Yeah.
Some of them are retired, but there's a lot that, you know, still work full time and, you know, so whenever they can devote their time and after hours, whatever, they come out.
Good program.
Appreciate it.
Thank y'all.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
We kept you out all weekend too, Butch. I know you did, cause I seen you.
Constable Precinct 4, number 13, discuss and take action to purchase a new light bar package for our current patrol vehicle. Mr. Barty.
Trying to save paper, I got this electronically so we can talk. What, y'all have the.
You want it? Yeah. You want it? It's on screen too.
It's on a 2012 Tahoe. I inherited several years ago. Light bar started malfunctioning. Last year before last one, we changed out found an old controller, installed it. It worked for a few months. Recently found another used part and installed it in part, and then after it was installed, another part of the light bar quit working. So I was having to say it's 11 years old, almost 12. And this light bar, the other one lasted 11, 12 years. This one last that long. This car is set to be replaced. We'll order it on a new budget.
You'll take the light bar off when you replace it, right?
Yeah. That's right. The only thing new we'll have to buy is those different mounting brackets.
Yeah.
That's it. So it's able to move on.
Well, you know, over the last 2 weeks, you know, I gotta say something, right, Chief?
Sure.
Nothing against you, but those light bars on their vehicles at night inside these fire lines are blinding as heck to all of us. And it makes us say things to some of them guys that they finally cut it off.
I agree. You know,
All this new technology with this LED.
Yeah.
I'm old school, Commissioner Wild. You remember I was fought fire collectively for 22 years.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And as a chief, assistant chief, I used to tell guys when you get to a point, you can cut the lights off. You know.
They're learning that
When
again.
you get to, you can cut the lights off. There's certain instances they need to be left on. But anyway, yeah, that's-
I just had to say that, you know, before I give you a motion to buy your light bar.
I asked you about that chair earlier. I feel the chair's working, so.
That's my motion.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor, raise your right hand.
Thank you, Judge.
Motion carries. 14, discuss and take action on the install new service window for JP3 to be funded through facilities projects. Larry?
Last of the projects. I received a message from Ms. Allen that we wanted to move forward, getting the additional quotes. This is looking at $7,600 even to install a twin window, Plymouth window at the gym. It would include, well, it's a 1/1/8 laminated glass, counter drop through and a new countertop to come out into the hallway to match what's there already.
We didn't already have something out there in place, Larry, or not?
They have a single window now, but they requested this because they have 2 clerks.
Okay. I was thinking we'd done something for them once before.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's been several years since they did that one, but, and all that was done on the last project there was to upgrade the glass to an impact glass. Yeah. There's not enough room at the one window for the 2 clerks to work and service the.
Okay.
They've been walking around the hallway and
Okay.
I'll give you the motion to do the $7,600 window.
I'll second that. I'll second that.
Moved and seconded, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries.
Thank you, Mayor.
Number 15, discuss and take action on the adoption of the 2023 sheriff's and constable fees for compliance with the Texas State Comptroller's Office. Harry?
This is an annual renewal that we do every year. These are the constable fees for the foreclosures, things of that nature that go on. And as of now, there are no changes to what the current schedule is. It'll be effective October 1.
I'll make the motion to approve agenda item 15 as presented.
Moved and seconded, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. Number 16, discuss and take action on record management plan, records archival fee, vital records fee, and record management and preservation fee.
Just a quick PowerPoint overview, y'all. Some of y'all like kind of getting an update as we do these fee changes and stuff like that. The present inventory of the records of the county clerk's office. In case some of you don't know, we do maintain records in 3 mediums. One is paper, which is books, file folders, and things of that nature. Second is microfilm, and the third is digitized images. We have records dating back to 1846. Until 1986, records were separated in different volumes rather than filed in the official record. Prior to 1986, the record was separated by volumes such as mechanics lien, deed record, deeds of trust. Now they're all in one book, so it's a lot easier for the public to view. And this is just kind of a summary of what we have going on and what is digital as of now.
That's awesome.
The plan summary, the majority of our records are paper-based and used daily by the public. When storing records, the critical things to think about are compliance with the Texas State Library retention schedules, preservation and replacement of the archival methods. These processes are used to ensure the documents are safe from deterioration for generations to come. Solutions to these challenges require us to have a sound records management plan and archive plan. With no cost to the county, these records can be preserved by using the records management and archive fees collected to cover the costs of us scanning these paper-based documents and preserving the hand ones by encapsulation. In addition to preserving these documents, these images are added to our existing system, which has made it a lot easier for the public to access. They don't always have to come in here to make copies. They can actually pull a lot of this information up on their home computer and print it off. So
Awesome.
It's proven to be a big benefit. This is just an overview of the projects completed. For those of you new on court, the first photo is what the 4th floor used to look like. The 2nd floor is what it looks like now. This is gonna be a lot of our case management storage. A lot easier access for our clerks not having to pick up books. And it's also allowed us a lot more space for future growth. The third picture on the top is what the deed room used to look like, and the bottom picture is what it now looks like. So we've come a long way on getting these books where they're at. The laws governing this, the county clerk's archive, local government code section 118.025. This is the fee for records archive, and it is a designated. Go back to laws. Okay. It is a designated account for the county clerk. It allows the county to assess a fee up to $10 for the preservation of older records filed with the county clerk. The vital fee, the health and safety code 191.0045. The Bureau of Vital Statistics may charge fees for providing services to the public with maintaining the vital statistics system. The county clerk may collect a fee not to exceed $1 for preservation of vital records. And the records management, local government code section 118.0216. This is designated and is to be used only for specific management and preservation, including automation. This is an overview of the records management account. Currently, this is through July 1st of 2023. Some of the expenses that you see on the previous years were the preservation that we have worked on. We have roughly $349,000 in the account with the projections of what we're going to spend and what we're going to bring in for 2024. We're looking at about $375,000 in that account. Next slide.
Interest is up quite a bit.
These aren't interest bearing.
You get interest on here.
Oh, yeah, sorry. That one is the archive ones. Oh, maybe they both are. My bad. I apologize. The archive one, currently have about 267,000 in the account, projected to be about 387 with income next year. So at the end of this year, going into next year, we're looking at about 750,000 that we can use on the projects that we have for the clerk's office. And just in case y'all don't know, 750,000 is a lot of money. And we've been hoarding this stuff since October of 2013. But to preserve one book, you're looking at close to $5 to $6 grand. That's where they go in and they take the pages out. They make sure it's bug free. They put solutions on it and then they encapsulate it. So the process is very expensive on what we still have left. Next slide. This is an overview of what's been accomplished. Phase 1. We had a lot of the books were done, a map was done, indexes were done. Phase 2, kind of same thing. Phase 3, we got into the rest of the land records and into the commissioner court minutes. What we're starting into now is more of the vital records, the assumed name, cattle brands, DBAs, birth, death, marriage, because all of that stuff is permanent record. And again, all of this is being able to be done without having to raise the tax rate or come to y'all and ask y'all for a lot for bukus of money.
Awesome.
So I'm asking for y'all's approval of us to be able to keep going forward with this for the records management fee at 10, the vitals at $1, and the archive at 10, which would be effective October 1. Any questions?
Not for me.
No.
No question, but I'll make a statement that very few of us get to do anything that lasts forever. And your stuff lasts forever. So in the future, they'll look back and at this time and say, that was pretty major. So congratulations on what y'all are doing down there. And I'll make the motion to approve agenda item number 16%.
We did not put a funding source for change.
You just say, well, and there again too, it's also a program that doesn't cost the taxpayer anything. It's a fee that you impose on the user that benefits the longevity and keeping up with all this.
All right, motion and a second. All in favor, say raise your hand. Motion carries. We're gonna go back up to number 13. And we'll get a new motion. We forgot to do a funding source on that.
Okay.
Patricia, you out there?
I thought it was coming out of his.
Yes, I am.
Well, he did
I would
say his
say
budget.
general
Did you say your
fund.
budget, Gene? You didn't say your budget, did you?
Sir,
This light bar?
what?
You need the funding for that light bar, or do you have it in your budget?
I need the funding.
That's what I'm decided with. Okay, where are we pulling it from, Patricia?
General fund contingency.
All right, I'm gonna include that in my motion to approve from general fund contingency.
Moving seconded, all in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries.
I'm just trying to help you, Jane.
Thank you, sir.
All right, number 17, discuss waste station located in Walker County.
I had this put on there because I do have several concerns. One of them we're not gonna talk about today because I didn't get the information due to all the fires we've been on lately. And I'm still waiting on some information to come back for that. But one of the other things that concerns me basically is I've been hearing from a lot of people down south that this court is looking at closing the weight station. That's one of my concerns. If it is, then we need to have a court discussion and not be getting all these phone calls. The positive side of it is, do I want to close the weight station? No, I do not. You know, there's a benefit to it. You know, the safety on the roads is very important of these trucks going up and down the road. And I can tell you from my experience of being just me locally in Walker County without them here, my stuff is not very legal at all. And I look legal now, but that don't mean I'm legal in their eyes, but I do look a lot better when I run down the road. So it's a very important need. I mean, and I know New Waverly has some issues because I've talked to Brandon a little bit on the phone over time about the weight station.
Yeah.
But that's a discussion that I guess you need to bring back to the court or whatever. But, you know, if there is any talk about closing it, then this court needs to be involved in the entire conversation. That's what I'm saying.
Sure.
You know, but, and I don't know if there is or not. I mean, it's just been a lot of phone calls for not to be something behind it somewhere. So I'm not sure if it's anybody on this court or not, but I know it's not me.
Well, and I'll agree with that. You
Yeah,
know, for years, the funding has been down on that thing, and we seem to look at the funding all the time, but the presence of them down there is a blessing in itself. They're right, a quarter of a mile from a school, you know, and you've got two officers down there, you know, at the back door at all times. You know, they have a tough job to do right now. It's a very tough job because they're also getting sent to the border. They're getting sent to Austin. They're getting sent to Dallas, you know, and they have no control over that. So it does affect some of our funding. You know, there's ways we could twist and tweak with that because, you know, I mean, we budget for a certain amount. They hadn't met that amount in years. And, you know, as long as fund balance is in good shape, we always cover it. Maybe we need to adjust on that end.
I know we've been dialing it back.
If we're worried about what it looks like as far as the funding source.
Yeah.
And, you know, but as far as the presence down there, you know, you've got 2 officers and a sergeant, you know, down there, hopefully most of the time, but I mean, they're pulled every direction and they have no control over it. So, and it's going on statewide. You know, you can go South Texas and see 15 or 20 of them, and you get up there on our state highways and see hardly any, you know, and that's not right to me. They're here to protect our highways. And licenses weight is here for the commercial vehicles, but that's not the case right now, and kind of out of our control, I would assume. So
Yeah, when I first come here, I mean, the funding was pretty high from that, and it's never been about the funding to me. It's always been about enforcement and safety on our roads.
Well,
the funding's nice. Don't get me wrong,
it did help years ago.
It did.
You know, I know Brandon's been here long enough to remember a lot of that stuff. I mean, we built a lot of bridges with the money that they generated. And replaced a lot of dry culverts and crosses, you know, big creek crosses.
A lot of bridges.
Yeah. And so it was a positive thing at the time.
That side over there did it.
It has. I didn't call names because I'm one over here on this side, but nevertheless, it did benefit Walker County as a whole. Yeah.
I'm gonna get out of y'all's way.
It benefited Walker County as a whole, and it was a good program, and you know, it has slacked up, and that's all right. You know, that's our problem. It's not theirs. Right. And their job is to keep the highway safe, and make sure that we don't, have as many casualties, wrecks as we would, as many commercial vehicles as we have running up down 45.
The discussion that I've had with quite a few people is just the amount of traffic that it produces in the southern. We have a abundance of commercial vehicles that run up and down right through our little town, and we have a traffic problem anyways. With all the subdivisions coming in, more homes, more people. We just had it. We had a meeting this morning with our representative down there, and to get hands-on knowledge of what's going on. To see it, to stand there in the middle of town and just watch the traffic, and the way station does add to that, no doubt. There's plenty of 18-wheelers come through there, so that's been a discussion that I've had with different various people. I think we had one last court say, that they wish it would be closed down. I understand it is a revenue stream. It does cause problems, but it also has its benefits and has its merits as well. So I've got to work with those guys. They're one of the things that, we take care of as a precinct. They maintain it. Larry and them maintain it. We do some other things down there as needed. So that's just a part of our community. And we'd always like to make our community better, no matter what we do.
Yeah, and I understand all that. I mean, I honestly do. But we got more of a problem in Huntsville than we've ever had too. Try to go to town at 5 o'clock.
Right.
Sure.
It's out.
It's
I mean,
growth.
you can't do it or up in the morning. I mean, you can't get through them intersections. So I just go early or late.
Yeah.
I bypass, but the parents carrying the kids to school, they got to get there on time.
Right.
So it's an issue for all of us.
Yeah.
And then you seen me down there this morning because I just kind of look and see what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But at 7 o'clock, what did it look like then?
Backed up.
Was it because of the trucks or trucks and the traffic mix?
Combination of everything, it's not just one thing. You couldn't just do one thing to make it better. We're working with TxDOT to get more lanes, more signals. That's the whole point of having the Representative Cassell down there this morning to show him. I mean, when you take 150 coming in from San Jacinto County and it's backed up for 2 miles this morning on just a normal morning, we've got traffic problems, and there's a lot of 18-wheelers that come that way, but there's a lot of houses. I mean, y'all know the 150 corridor is the one that's getting the most subdivisions. Y'all have seen the Manors, the Beach Creek, the Deer Forest, some other properties that have been bought and they're working on that we've already had contact with, and it's just going to get worse.
Yeah, where's the city involved in this down there? How are they involved?
The city's been at every meeting that we've had.
Yeah.
So they're on board to do whatever to help us. We're looking at, maybe trying to get a little far from the weight station, but maybe trying to do a transportation study. That's what the state's requesting of us, but those are very pricey.
Well, let's still weight station tied in because
Sure.
of the traffic, but
Sure.
so I don't see why we can't discuss it a little bit, but I don't know. I seem to think they ought to be the lead dog because it is in the city of New Waverly.
Yeah, I think so too.
That's just kind of what,
It's a state highway.
and it's a state highway and the trucks have a right to be there.
Right.
There's no reason for them not to go through New Waverly if they don't want to go through there. If they do, they just drive through there, but we have nothing to stop them from going through New Waverly. There's no law or anything in effect at this point, so.
Correct.
Unless,
Yeah.
I don't know what the city can and can't do, but the city of Huntsville can send you around.
Yeah.
But
So we went down that road with the truck route with the city, and I say we went down that road just because I was involved in the meetings. The city has went down that road trying to get a truck route established through town. That way you deter your traffic around town. Problem is you got a cross section, and the city limits, like the biggest thing that would help would have a truck sign in Montgomery County,
right,
where the trucks would have to get on I-45 at Shepherd Hill. Right. So put a truck route sign there. TxDOT said, if you'll do this study, we'll go for it. The city put money in, did the study, had the engineers come up with it. Everything looked good. We got to the very end and they said, oh, no, we can't do this because it's not, the city didn't have any jurisdiction outside of the city on the state road. So we're working with our legislature to try to figure that out or change that or get us some kind of way that we can do it, because it's out of the county. It's in Montgomery County where that entrance is,
right,
which they were for. They didn't have they sent letters of approval. They're okay with it.
But after the city spent all that money to have the engineering done on that particular deal, the state come back and said that, no, we can't do that. So the city has a vested interest. They have been putting money forward, but that's why we don't have a truck route through town now. Now, if y'all remember back, several months ago, we did the oversized, load limits at a certain time during peak traffic
Right,
hours.
yeah, I remember doing that. Did that go forward or not?
We did real good. The city, we did ours on the state roads up to the city limits, and the city did theirs within the city limits. It's worked great. When we have the rush hour traffic with the school traffic from 7 to 8 in the morning and from 3 to 5 in the afternoon, all those big loads are deterred. They're not allowed to come through there. Quentin helped us formulate some of that stuff and got it over there, and it's worked wonderfully. So grateful for that.
Yeah, well, like I say, I go back to this. I mean, I know it's a problem, but they have a right to be there unless we can figure out how to make them go around it. Those trucks have a right to come through there too. So I believe in my rights.
Sure.
So if I want to drive a truck through there, I should be able to do it. I mean, your local people are doing it anyway.
Sure.
You know, so why can't the other? We want to detour them only? I mean, that's what we're looking at doing.
Yeah.
You know, so figure out how to make it legal where they have to go around us.
Yeah, and I'm glad it's on, because I was getting the same calls. In fact, I visited with him last week about getting calls and wondering what's going on down there. So I think I'm with you there. Until there's a law that says they can't, it kind of stinks, but they can go through there. And I think the city should be the lead dog on the thing. At least they're in the conversation. It sounds like they are down there. Okay, so they should be the lead dog on the thing, and we should be. I'm all for supporting them and helping them, but I don't know that we have a financial interest in anything down there. If it's like, say, it's a state highway going through a city, that's the two entities that should be talking when it gets down to the plan. But and I think, I don't know how much information y'all was talking to them could provide to us via a little FYI, because I think we need to know if the conversation is, hey, we're going to go down there and say, we want to close this way station down. We need to know that if that's a conversation, because I think we need to meet up here prior to that and say, what is the opinion of the court? What do y'all think of that idea? Can we send these people down there with the mindset of leave it like it is? That's the opinion of the court. Or can y'all just say, hey, I'm just Brandon, I'm just Colt, I'm just whoever, just regular Joe citizen, and just reiterate through the conversation, this is my opinion. It's not the opinion of the court. So I think that's important at that conversation, is that we don't represent whoever's meeting. I'll just say you, because you're sitting down there. You don't say, hey, Walker County wants to close that way station, because that's not the case. It may be the case, but you don't know that's the case. Or, hey, we'll help y'all move it north of town. Well, that may not be the case, because we may not want to move it north of town. It may happen, but there's things that if you're going to go down there and look for a position to talk to them about, that we could come up here and visit up here at the court level and say, we could entertain this, or we could talk about that, but we have no interest in this or that. Or like I say, just fall back to, this is just my conversation. It's not, I still got to go get 2 other votes to make this happen. And they hear that where they go other places too. So, I mean, I do that when I talk to groups, and some, it's just me, and I got to have a couple of more. So anyway, I guess it just is what it is right now until they figure out what's going on down there.
When you talk about safety of the trucks and making our community better, if a truck was safe and he didn't have any problems, he'd stay on 45.
That's not necessarily true.
Most of them.
I'll disagree with you on that.
Well,
but
just the aggravation of being stalled out for a while is enough to make me go around the wait station if I'm 100% legal.
Most of the ones, I'm just assuming here, this is not the court. This is just my thoughts. You sit down there and you watch the trucks coming through with paper tags, different stuff going on.
Yeah.
There's a pretty good reason why they're avoiding that wait station.
Yeah. And there might be
the amount of time that you're going to have to wait at the wait station when they open up the lights and then close them, they'll open up, they'll turn the lights on, they'll get a few, then you'll go by. They spend more time getting off 75, coming through there, sitting in town, especially during peak traffic times, and getting back on 45 than they would if they were to go through it.
Not if you wanted the ones they pull in there and inspect, and you sit right there for an hour waiting on them to inspect you. I take my chances going around. I may be wrong, but that's where I would be.
I see both sides of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I was down there, I went to Mustang and picked up some parts the other day and they had it open and they were lined up way outside,
To the
you know,
freeway.
3 lane, you know, 2 lanes
Yeah.
wide or whatever it is going in there, all the way out back to the highway. So it is a time consuming. I mean, when you have, I think, you know, 2 officers down there at the most and 4 or 5 inspectors, it takes time to go through all that stuff and it is an inconvenience, but you know, it's part of it, you know. Used to, they had enough help to sit in town and pull vehicles over.
Right.
That is not the case right now. It may be in the future. I have no idea, but it's not the case. So you do get a lot of people that skirt the scales, you know, and take their chances, just like they do going through the scale house.
Yeah.
It's kind of a catch-22, you know.
And, you know, at the end of the day, you're right. When we first put
There's
it
no
in
law
place,
against going around it.
No, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. I mean, they're all public roads, so. You know.
yeah, when we were making 400,000 a year, it was, everybody was.
Oh, yeah, everybody was happy sitting on the entire
So-
court, you know, of course, you wasn't up here, Brandon, but
Yeah.
Tim was here and all that money was great, you know, and all that good stuff, but that's probably not gonna never come back to the level it was.
And really, I think that's a testament to why it's there. You know, at the end of the day,
Which is a good thing.
it's cheaper to fix your truck than it is to pay the ticket.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice if they didn't write a single ticket. It'd be, you know, we pulled over 5,000 trucks last month and everybody was safe and legal. That'd be an awesome day. So, and it's had to be a goal when they started, was to drive down the unsafe trucks. And I think the money says they're doing that. And the number of citations, I guess, shows they're doing that. And hopefully the roads are safer. So I mean, I feel for y'all. Huntsville used to be that way until the freeway went in out there on the side. They used to come right in.
Yeah, I mean, I feel your pain. Don't think I don't.
Yeah, they were lined
I
up.
feel your
St.
pain,
Pete
but-
all the way down to 17th Street coming
Yeah.
through town back.
Well, and even on the north side, you know, when the scale house was out there before this was built,
Yeah,
you know, it was on the north side of town and Pinedale Road. I mean, it was like I-45, you know, because that was the way, like Rogers Road, to skirt the scale. And it's part of it, you know.
Hawthorne, Fort Knox, yeah, all of it.
so I guess to kind of pick up your ending there or whatever would be just, I think it's important that we know, that I know anyway, if it gets more than just a discussion, if a plan starts falling into place, then I think we need to be part of that plan.
No, I agree, 100%.
That's my closing. thing.
Yeah,
I feel-
that's kind of where I'm at, you know, I mean, I know there's been a lot of talk, because I've got the calls and I know some of y'all probably have, but
Yeah.
reality of it is, a lot of it's probably just talk.
Yeah.
But when
A
you
lot of
get,
it's
when you
hearsay.
get a lot of talk and it just keeps coming, there's generally something behind it somewhere.
Yeah. So-
That's generating that talk, and that's kind of why I put it on here. Of course, part of what I want to talk about, I don't have the information yet, but we'll put it there.
All right.
Sure. Judge and Gene got anything?
Constable, you want to comment? You always do.
I wouldn't pass up the chance.
I didn't figure you would.
For one, the trucks, I watched it for years, okay? Yeah, there's guys that go around the scale because they don't want to sit in line. But, you know, you sit and look at, if it looks like a duck, it's a duck. When the truck comes by and you see the bare tires, all that stuff. They don't just avoid the weigh station by jumping off the Shepherd Hill. There's trucks that come up 1725 off 59, up to 150, take a right to the light and go get on 45. I don't know, several years ago, when there was a bunch of troopers here, I got to stop at some of those trucks and checking their, what do you call it, their bill of lading. Those trucks are coming from Beaumont area, should have been going up 59, but there's a weigh station on 59 up there around Tennessee somewhere. So those trucks, if they get off in Cleveland and come up 1725 and 150, anyway, to take a ride at the light, they've avoided 2 weigh stations. They go on up 45 and then get back off, you know, east, I forget what. When a weigh station's open, it's not only impacting the state roads, it impacts some of our county roads. Because that weigh station's open, they come up 1725, they're gonna catch Hawthorne, go over to 1375. Some of them take a right and go around and go 4 knots to a mill. Some of them go take a left and go up to 2793 and hit 75 and then go back north. So it impacts not just the state roads and the community, it impacts our county roads as well. And we talk about, clogging up areas. You mentioned Huntsville. Yeah, Huntsville is,
It's awful.
it's horrible. The thing of the problem in New Waverly is there's only two main veins. You need to go 75 in or out of town, north or south. Or if you're gonna go east, you gotta go 150. So whenever and it's not just a weigh station, okay? It's not just a weigh station impacting New Waverly. It's in the morning, school traffic at 7:10, traffic loads up at 7:50. It's in the afternoon. It's 3:10 to 3:15 to 10 minutes before 3:50. It's done. But if you have weigh station open at the time, you got one. The great thing we got done was that wide load. It seemed like it never failed. Once a month, there'd be a super wide load hit New Waverly at 2 o'clock and get hung under one of those lines. And then, we got school traffic to deal with. It's not just a weigh station. It's not just, well, we're trying to get text dot to do. I say I'm in on the meeting just to not direct traffic. I don't have on anything. We trying to get them to do some more things, simple things. I got them to extend the length of the light, the westbound light of 150 by 10 seconds, and it made a huge difference. Our traffic from 30 seconds to 40 seconds made a huge difference. But we've been telling for years, if you give us a left turn, they're finally, we got their ear, they're listening, they're looking. The city's there involved. Brandon's been there supporting them, because we've been in talks for years.
You've been in talks ever since I've been sitting up here.
Yeah.
Well, I was on city council up until 2007. And every time we would talk to them about something, they said, we need to do a traffic study. They should have a room of traffic studies over this, 4 foot tall. But they've finally done some things in the last 5 years that's made a little difference. But there's still a lot of work to be done, a lot of things to be done, and they're really listening a whole lot better now, seems to be. But
well, like I say, I feel your pains, but I'll just go ahead and say this. I do everything I can to avoid those weigh stations. That's just me. Even if I'm 100% legal, I'm gonna go around them.
And it's not so much the fact that they're running around because they're illegal. We get that. As a police officer, I understand that. Not every truck that comes through there is illegal. Probably find something wrong with it.
That's just in general, right?
It is. But the fact is that is one component of a problem we have down there. Is the weigh station's open, it contributes to our problem down there.
Well, and going back to it though, it is part of the problem, but it's not enough to justify shutting it down.
I don't know what that's all about. There's one thing about it. There's days that they work lots of trucks, and there's lots of days there ain't nobody over there. Because as you said numerous times, no control, they have no control over that. But the fact that to count on them to be that we say, they're right there behind the school, count on them. That's at one time it was. There'd be 3 troopers over there and 1 out on 75 work. Hadn't been like that since this border crisis started. We all know that's probably not good. So who knows when those numbers will come back over there, be helpful. I hope soon, but I hate seeing those guys have to go down there, honestly.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my 2 cents worth. Thank you for letting me talk.
Hey, I appreciate it, Jane. I want to hear from you.
I know.
Judge Cole, you got anything?
No, sir, I didn't.
Okay. All right. Anybody else?
Last chance. Will, you want to say anything?
Well, since
You look like you got something on your mind.
since I took office in 19, the numbers were already down. We're not getting the volume that I've heard it did exist back when you were talking about when Paul and then were on the court. We can prosecute what they give us. A lot of the, as far as these cases go, usually we'll have a package from an 18-wheeler that's out of compliance, and we'll nail them on a couple and dismiss a couple. But we don't have it's not the volume of individual cases that we used to have. And Quentin knows more about that too. And he saw it when it was a little bit bigger volume and it's seen it go down. But if they don't have people manning it regularly, the volume's not there, no matter what we do.
Yeah.
So, but if they do start manning it and they do start writing more tickets, we will prosecute.
Yeah, well,
And I got people that can do it. We will get it done. But right now, it just isn't the volume that it was at one time. So the numbers are down, and I do agree with you. The purpose of traffic safety laws are to protect the public.
yeah, it's the
And
enforcement part of it.
a good side deal is money. I agree, and I wish we could do both. And with sufficient, cases coming our way, those numbers would go up. But some of that's out of our control just because of the border crisis and the amount of officers that are regularly working it.
You had mentioned something about dismissing some tickets. Can you tell me what types y'all would dismiss as far as these safety violations?
Do what? Oh.
Oh, no. And you got a button with it. Man. You got a button.
It's a guy that's been handling it for a while.
Thank you, Quentin.
For a decade, I have worked on JP. And whether it's Class C or a felony in district court, prosecutorial discretion rules today. The oath we take is to do justice. Our oath is not to get a conviction. It's not to levy a fine. It's not to send somebody to prison. Our job is to do justice. Many times that involves sending somebody to prison or levying a fine against them. And so that rules what we do. And there is no doubt that sometimes, as Mr. Durham just mentioned, sometimes as part of a package deal, we'll dismiss a case because they pled on a different case. And we do that all the time. The other day in district court, they moved 85 cases in one day. Wow. 85 cases in one day. Probably 10 of those, maybe 15 of those were dismissals. There were some 1245s, that's a legal term. All kinds of things went in there, but we moved 85 cases and a whole lot of 17, 18 people still going to go to the pen. They're going to spend some time there. So we do that kind of stuff, whether it's in district court or in JP court, all the time. There's another caveat to JP court that doesn't exist in county court of law or district courts. They have a process called deferred adjudication. The JP courts, and the judge is familiar with this, they have a process called deferred disposition. A deferred disposition means that the person pleads not guilty or pleads guilty or no contest. They pay some kind of fine. They have to go some length of time and comply with certain conditions. At the end of that time, their case is dismissed. So when you run a report and shows dismissals, many of those, I know I did it for years. Many of those, they were not a straight dismissal. They were, in fact, a deferred disposition. The status is reported as dismissed. If it's a commercial driver, two things happen. One, he paid some money. So that helped your revenue, which I don't like talking about, but that helped your revenue. The other thing is he ended up with points on his federal CSA. And you guys that have your CDLs know how important that is. So there were consequences there. So that's part of the deal. So don't look at a list of dismissals and think that there were no consequences. There very well could have been. But also the fact is prosecutorial discretion. Sometimes we look at a case and it's just not the right thing to make that person be convicted. So those are some factors that go into it. I handled that court for a long time. I saw the volume going down. That is not the problem, or that's not caused by the sergeant. He's not at fault on that. We all know what the reason for that is. I would say that the percentage of dismissals stayed consistent throughout that trend. I reevaluated every 6 to 9 months on what kind of offers I was making. Mr. Durham has made me his first assistant. I spend time visiting with all of my line prosecutors about their plea deals. We're going to continue to reevaluate, but I don't think the percentage of dismissals have markedly changed over the years. At least they didn't while I was there. I've had 4 different lawyers in that court in the last 2 years. So CDO law. So
I'm doing my best to train, and we'll continue to evaluate on that. But as I have said to this court, or some of you were on this court on more than one occasion, it's not our concern about your revenue. It's just can't.
And it's not mine either.
I mean, that's just something you can't.
Well, and kind of, since we've done got this far into it, years ago, before Sergeant Adams was down there, Sergeant Gray was down there, and I was not very popular with Sergeant Gray. Because I dug into, well, for one, we had to buy a set of scales, and that was kind of forced on us. But I did visit, and I can't contest to the way it is now, but I did talk to several of the majors and in commercial vehicle. And they were over his head, and they have because, and I'll tell you why, there was a comment made in court that the state didn't care how much money. And that was not the consensus of the higher ups. They were very concerned about the safety of the public and trying to make things work. And they were a lot more willing to work with us, I think, at the time than the sergeant was. So I don't think we have that case now. We've got a good sergeant down there. Hadn't had no reason to talk to anybody above him. And he's doing the best he can with what he has. And hopefully it continues.
Well, and I'll go further. I worked with 3 sergeants down there before Sergeant Gray with Sergeant Hunt. Worked with them all on that. There is something, and this is something, and I think about it, I think only Commissioner White was on the court when the last time I mentioned this. But it's
Probably right. I'm looking around. I think he was right.
2013, the legislature, because this piggybacks on something Commissioner Doggett mentioned a minute ago. In 2013, the legislature made a significant change in the commercial overweight violations. The fine used to be $250, $500. These trucks ran heavy all the time because what they made up on the extra load was more than enough to offset, and they could live with the CSA points for it to offset what they had to pay in the fine. But they changed that in 2013. Look at your revenue spikes. That's where your number. There were days where I laid $10,000 fines, $15,000 fines on a single guy, on a single company. It happened all the time because they weren't used to it. But if you want to get rid of something, tax it or criminalize it. And that's what they did. And so we don't see anywhere near the level of overweight. They're overweight, but they're not overweight by nearly as much as they used to be because they can't afford the fine. And that was the purpose of it. The purpose of the weight station, they're only going to catch 1 out of every 10, 1 out of every 20, whatever they're catching. But it's a deterrence. It's designed to increase drivers and operators trying to get in compliance. They don't want the CSA points more than they don't want the fine, perfectly honest. So that's what's it's a deterrence. And so
well, and therefore your public safety went up.
Right. And the more effective that is, then the safer the roads are. So.
Appreciate it, Quentin.
Yes.
I'll quit saying anything so you can sit down.
So I just had,
I'm done.
do you think some of those people calling y'all have it confused with the people that's in Andy's building? Those are license and weight officers from Leon County.
No,
We found office space for them in Madison County.
No, there was a comment made even in court last week about shutting the weigh station down.
Okay.
That was Zoom, right?
Right.
Well, I mean, the people I've talked to has been very direct.
Oh, yeah.
They got, and, like I said, I mean, I know it's not coming from me. I can't speak for the other 4 of you, but I know who it's not coming from. So I'm just being out front and throwing mine out there.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm done.
Well, we did find space for the guys in Andy's building in Madison County, which is where they work.
Okay.
So if you hear that, that was all.
They wasn't locals?
No.
All right, we still got locals in there?
They're still in there, right, Andy? Yeah, but the Rangers didn't get. So we're just trying to get them closer to their county. I think we're the only ones that have space for them for a while. All right. Number 18, discuss and take action on authorization of sales of fireworks during the Diwali from November 5th through the 14th, 2023.
This is just something that came across my desk from, I think it was, well, actually it came from TAC. The legislature approved another fire period, if the county for sale of fireworks, I guess. In late November, Diwali is a Hindu, I did a little research, it's a little Hindu celebration. Whether anybody opens and does it or not is up to the commissioner's court to approve fireworks during that period. So
It's just gonna be hard for me to go along with anything with a firework. And when I've been on these fire lines, for how long we been out there? Dan? I said, you picked a bad day to bring it.
If you're gonna say that's true, but we can wait if you want to let it rain.
You're gonna have to.
Well, I can tell you today, my vote's a no.
Mine too.
You bring it back when it's raining.
Bring it back when it's raining. Then it's probably not a big deal, but it's
Well,
just
you know, we done that, what was it, a couple of years ago on Texas Independence Day? I think we made it where they can, but nobody.
Nobody did it.
Yeah, and so
Well, it's not enough there for them, probably.
Yeah, probably not enough.
Sound like you got 3 no's on this end.
Let's just pass on this one.
All right. Number 19, discuss and take action authorizing precinct 3 commissioner to purchase a used pneumatic roller via auction, commercial dealer, or private individual at cost not to exceed 30,000.
We have a small pneumatic roller, and actually ended up borrowing one from Brandon a while back, and then I borrowed one from you, and they're nice and big and do a whole lot better than the little tiny one that I have. So I'm starting to look around for one similar to that. So this agenda item is if I come across one. In fact, there's one on an auction right now that I'm watching that I think that ends in October. So I just wanted to get an authorization to pick up a fixed asset over 5,000 and exceed my $10,000 limit if I come across something for this piece of equipment. So that my motion is to approve agenda item 19 as presented.
I'll give you a second.
Moving second, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries.
Like yours.
Number 20, discuss and take action on facility request 2023-117 for Carolina Christian Camp to place an informational banner promoting Lone Star Lights in front of precinct 3 facility.
I met with Lisa and Cherie from Carolina Christian Camp out there. Last year was their inaugural Lone Star Lights. Their attendance was almost 18, close to 20,000 people, mostly from out of town that came into Walker County. And that was, y'all remember Christmas last year, it rained from the time they stood there, we're open, sign up, until the day they pulled it back down, and they still got almost 20,000 people. This year, they're looking at hopefully getting 30 to 35,000 people to come out there. And one of the comments they had last year was people having difficulty locating the place. So they asked if they could put a sign in front of my shop in the grass. And to do that, I thought I needed to come to court and just get permission from them.
I'm gonna look at Quentin on that one.
You can approve it if you choose to.
Okay. So my motion is to approve agenda item number 20 as presented.
Moving second, all in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carried. 21. Presentation and discussion of the status of Hurricane Harvey grant funds from Grant Worth and Blau Engineering. Morning, Jordan.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Assuming you've met my friend Johnny as well.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, we've been knowing Johnny for a long.
We don't get to come through today. What's your last name? Mahoney. M-A-H-O-N-E. Commissioner Doggett, I know you had some specific questions for us. Would you like to start with those?
Not really. We've just been getting reports over the last 2 or 3 months, and I appreciate this information. So rather than me try to figure out and not being allowed to visit with these people and ask questions back and forth without being here, I just figured we just all throw it here and y'all walk us through where we're at, if you please.
Totally fair. So we are pretty close to being complete with the originally planned work for this project. This project is a grant from the GLO. The GLO, as you know, runs at a glacial pace, and they're very picky about everything, which has been really fun for us in a lot of ways. We do have some funds left in this grant. We have a couple of things we'd like your advice on, how you'd like us to move forward. We see some cost overages, for one of these project sites, that's Phelps Creek in precinct 4. Force account labor, so the county's own labor force has been managing that project. And the cost for that has exceeded the originally planned budget, from my understanding, by a pretty significant amount. I'm not on the ground, so I don't know why that is. You can maybe have some
Help slab.
Help slab. Lines are hard to read. No, I'm just kidding. That's not. Hoping you have some idea on how and why that labor had gone.
The
over.
geotechnical engineering data was incorrect, and we ended up spending a lot more money because it was incorrect.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And the other issue is the force labor as well, that I'm sure Jordan can speak to more on, as far as how much was spent on the labor side of things. And whether or not we're wanting to use grant funds to reimburse.
So already on this particular, or in this precinct, there's been $116,000 in overages, which were already covered by the county. For this period or this upcoming payment request, we're looking at about $204,000 in force account labor that we're not planning to ask for reimbursement or I guess prepayment by the GLO, but that would be picked up by the county, leaving total grant funds that aren't currently obligated to another contract in the form of retainage or funds that we know that we're going to spend for some other contract, about $175,000 left. If the county decides to, they can use those funds to cover most of this overage and use planned funds, or excuse me, the county's own funds to do additional work in the county without having all of the administrative and very, very specific rules that the GLO is going to apply to that extra work. So you'll be able to do more work for less money if you do it outside of this grant contract. Alternatively, if the county wants to spend the $100,000 on this current cost overrun on their own, there's about $175,000 left to plan additional projects, but the GLO will be very specific on where we can and what we can based on what was already approved for this project.
Okay, that was really fast.
Sorry.
I go fast, but that was even.
Okay,
really
I'm trying to
fast.
catch up with you here.
My duties are not in accounting either. This is-
Okay, so the green column right now that says grant construction funds remaining, that is what is in the accounts left over right now.
Yes.
Okay, so if we say like in mine, I've only got $15,515 in my account. If you know, and I did 2 roads, and that's what I got left over between the 2. What other projects would be? Could I say, hey, I've got 15 grand, I would like to do a hydraulic study on another downstream from there or something
Was
like
that
that.
what we already did on this project in the exact same locations?
We did one in there. So that's what I want to know, what are the limitations we have? Is it strictly from 230 down to the bridge? Is that our scope?
Already gotten approved through environment and LMI studies.
And we're pretty limited on what we can use the money for, right?
Right, they'll be real specific on exactly what types of materials you can use, what types of contractors you can use, and where you can do that additional work. But they would also include new contracts, because I don't think any of our current contracts for labor are still open in this. Or I guess you're forcing them.
Looking at it, you're the one sitting up with about $125,000.
If we did,
Yeah, but if it has to be spent on them 3 locations, we can't get outside those locations. You've already done the drainage and everything on it.
Right.
Right?
There may be some minor drainage improvements we can make. You clean out the ditches, put some slow paving down areas if we needed to, or some dead walls. It'd be fairly limited in scope, especially with the right of way issues.
Yeah, I mean,
On how far-
all 3 locations got very little right of way anyway. And prior to y'all coming in, we actually did the drainage pretty well on it.
all right, so the roads that y'all did though, your Knife River contract roads. So help me out on this one. Y'all have gone back, they've gone back to those roads. And they've done crack sealing on those roads from one end all the way to the other.
They did some crack sealing just as a warranty issue without charging us.
Okay, but have we all done crack sealing on those new roads yet, or is that?
Well, I mean, we need to do it. don't
Because
get
we haven't
me
done
wrong,
it yet, but they could.
But
Are they your roads now? Are they out of warranty? Are they y'all's roads?
well, yeah, there was our roads to start off with, the way I understand it.
But Knife River came back, so
yeah.
could they go back to those roads and do repairs?
Potentially, the GLO is going to look at that as rework, and they will not pay for rework. So they will insist that the original contractor, if they're still under warranty, take care of that. And that's probably a conversation the county can have with, excuse me, with that contractor anyway. Just because that was fairly recent that was completed. But if it does look like this is work that was done and needs to be redone, that's not going to be a qualifying expense.
Okay.
And you got a question?
You're saying you got a $204,000 overrun. You have $175,000 left over. Right?
Correct.
Total.
Unrelated. Yeah.
So if the $175,000 that's left over is applied to the 204,
Then you have negative 29,924.
then that $175,000 would, if it wasn't applied to, has to come from county.
The 204 would come from the county. The 175 will come from grant funds. That's what's remaining in our grant budget.
No, what I'm saying, they didn't apply the 175 to the 204. Which is what you're discussing,
Okay.
right? Correct?
Right.
Then they would have to come up with 175 out of their own funds.
Well, some of this is forced labor, but you've taken that out, right?
Right. Anything that's been billed to the GLO so far has been taken out already.
I mean, so it's direct expenses so far, no forced labor involved in it.
Right. This is funds that do not have planned work associated with
Well,
them.
so how did we get this far in deep and not know about it? I mean, if we're $204,000 in the hole.
Well, I mean, it's all with a felt slab out
That's
there,
not
right?
a felt slab because all the prongs went on slab.
And my understanding was that it was not the county's intent to charge that force account additional labor to the grant in the first place. We still have to report on that labor to the GLO.
Well, I would say there's no option there at this point. I mean, there's no forced labor.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean, if we're in the hole, we're in the hole, but
I know the intent was always for you to cover that labor on the side, right? So it's, I mean, the labor's already been paid for, right? So the
Labor's
question
already
is-
come out of my budget, yes.
Right, so it's already been paid for by the county. So then the question is, do we want to use the remaining funds, the 175, apply it to that as reimbursement? Or do we want to try to use these funds elsewhere on projects that are contained within the areas that?
If we took the 175 and we covered stay with me on this one before y'all lose them. If we take the 175 and we paid it and paid down the 204 to just the 30,000 we would suck up. Once allocated to precinct 4, that would become Walker County money that he could reallocate to our precincts, split the money up equally.
Right, and then you can spend that money.
What's your thoughts on that?
without
That's what-
strings attached.
That's what I was trying to say. If
What
you
y'all's
didn't
thoughts
apply the
on that?
175 over to cover that, then whatever money you don't apply, you're still gonna have all the restrictions of the grant.
Well, I don't want to give $175,000 back. I don't want to do that.
no, that would be dumb.
I don't want to do that.
I'd like to have,
To the GLO?
I'd like to have it in my budget.
Oh,
What's what I'm saying. If we take the 175,
You're gonna be able to keep it, though, don't worry.
we cover, we do the 175. If that's the way to get the money into the county coffers, then so 175 divided by 4 is almost, it's about what, $43,000 a precinct.
This just don't even sound halfway legal to me. I'm gonna have to talk to my legal man in the
It's
back.
you know what, it's the same thing it did. Well, it's the same thing we did with the ARPA money. You know,
Yeah.
we went through.
That's
Put it in the general fund and move.
And then you move.
Will keeps looking at me. I'm a little concerned.
I think it's totally legit. I think it's the way to do it. If being that the restraints, I mean, I was hoping we could say we could take this money and do like, I mean, I have drainage areas I'd love to have drainage studies done in. I would love to have them and I need them in 3 or 4 good neighborhoods.
We should look at new grants.
And absolutely. And I think we have one sitting down there now that we have a study in that one. But there's other areas that we need to have those in. But if we can't do that, and if we can't add to a project we've already got and all the restrictions are there, then if we can get the money into the county coffers and split it out equally, I could be talked into that.
I'll probably get there, but I don't feel comfortable at this moment. And I hadn't heard Quentin say nothing too much back
It does
there.
work. These are already reimbursable expenses
Right.
from the GLO. So
Right.
from a grant standpoint,
It's
no
a
shame.
wash.
No big deal,
Nobody's gonna be worried about it.
right? No big deal.
Like driving a trailer without a license plate on it, don't get it.
Just cut around this way.
Yeah. I do that every day, Gene.
Tell them, you need to take Hawthorne and drive on this.
Some reason it just ain't feeling 100% right
How
here.
you feel about that?
Well,
Huh?
the good thing about it is, again, do something like that, then we could take that money and go back and fix the minor problems that we have already on the roads.
Yeah, I mean, I've got some,
I
the
mean, we've
cracking
got the
areas.
crack seal. That's a whole nother conversation that we'll have later, but, we're gonna have to crack seal them before this month.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, before.
Yeah, before you lose
So,
them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's money that we could apply back to fixing that.
Yeah, put it back in your project where it belongs. Yeah, and I've got cracks on Coons and Plantation that I need to go fix and stuff like that. So we're really putting it back into the projects that.
But most of the money goes to precinct 2, right? Anyway, because it's mostly mine.
Johnny didn't spend enough though.
Judge, may I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am, Ms. Allen.
Please, 'cause we were gonna
we-
get to you.
We currently have in our community development block grant fund a negative cash balance of $206,306. Is this money the same as this 204,000 overage we're talking about? Or is that money that we've spent and not being reimbursed for yet? Is that additional money that we're due from GLO?
I don't know where you guys feel.
No, she would never have seen this 204,000. We would not have written a check for this money. This is in-house, in-kind labor. So there's no county money in that 204 or 347. We haven't written a check for that. So if we're 200-something thousand upside down, we probably need to find out why we're 200-something thousand upside down.
Well, the GLO, and Miss Patricia will know this, when they paid Vulcan, they was months and months and months paying.
Yeah.
So they do not pay timely at all. And that's one of the reasons, and I'll go ahead and go a little further with, is that we keep a healthy reserve because we had to pay all that up front. And
And then wait on reimbursement.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same way we did with slot and all that.
Right, yeah. So. Okay,
That's a good question.
Patricia, I don't know the answer to your question.
well, it can't be. We do know the answer. It's not.
It's not,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's not, that's.
No, that's reimbursement there. We're waiting on.
So there's outstanding reimbursements still coming evidently that we're still sitting on.
Right, we haven't even been allowed to submit our current draw, which has quite a few invoices in it, because we're waiting on the extension and the additional funds allocation for the GLO, which has been a remarkable waiting period.
Okay,
So that entire 204,347 overrun is all force account.
Correct. Force account, labor and equipment only. The rentals are included in draw 11.
Yeah.
Which are in your packets, but not in this cute little picture.
And for what it's worth, it appears that if the $174,000 is turned in as labor and equipment for Road and Bridge Precinct 4, that would need to be exactly where that money went. Now, whether or not court decides to do a budget adjustment outside of that money would be a discussion for court at a later date, but the money needs to be applied as requested, is my opinion.
Exactly correct from grant standpoint.
yeah, that keeps it clean.
Mhm.
That we could transfer the money and pay the 175,053.25.
So that would be the motion to make the motion to use the 175,053.25 to cover the cost overrun 204,347.
Just
This
set up.
is a discussion only item.
Yes, you're not in an action.
Oh, this is discussion on. I'm sorry.
I'd
I
have made
thought we was wide open.
I'd have done the same thing, so let you wait first.
Well, that's what needs. that's
Okay,
what I think needs-
so
And then we can do what we need to later, the budget adjustment.
I mean, I make that, we can't make a motion and a thing, but we can definitely get a consensus before we move on with this thing. Is that something that this court is open to, is to allocate that money to the overrun and then allocate it back at a later court date?
Back to precinct 2.
bracket 1 and 2 and again.
I am
Having trouble
uncomfortable
with the numbers.
and allocate it with the second half of that motion to allocate it back. I think
Yeah,
the
we're not, that won't
motion,
be part of the motion, Patricia. You're right. It's gonna be two things, probably one meeting. And then once we get the reimbursement back, the actual check shows up. Then that's another agenda item, what we want to do with it at that time.
I'm not even comfortable with that. I think the motion needs to be whatever you want to apply it. That money needs to be applied there. And then if court has other budget amendments they want to make, that needs to be considered separately.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's what we're
But I
talking
mean,
about.
We can get a consensus of the court.
Yeah, it's not an action item today.
So, okay,
Okay.
if that's the road we're going down, I go,
Hurt.
that's the road I go down.
Yeah.
That's-
Yeah.
I think it's the
Like
best.
I said, the majority of it's Ronnie's, if he's willing to move forward and Brandon ain't gonna try to hold it hostage, we'll.
Well, I mean, there's three of us I know take it away from him. We got no problem with it.
I don't do roads, so y'all duke it out.
There you go.
The only other thing that has been discussed by the court, and I don't know if that's eligible under this money or not, was the improvements at the storm shelter that was talked about as an alternative project.
I think that's in the next budget, the next grant we have out there right now. It's a part of that one.
I'm not even allowed to read that one yet.
So yes, that's not part of this one right now. Us, this discussion, I think we have an idea what we want to do going forward.
So I'll get an email with that summary and we'll work on getting a draw that includes that 204 for reimbursement. In addition, I've got a super update for the monitoring GLO saga that has been a delight for all of us as well. Thank you again for taking my call a couple days ago. My CEO and the powers that be at GrantWorks have opened up a dialogue with the Texas Commissioner, General Land Commissioner Don Buckingham, and they are working closely to develop a very specifically worded letter that will help hopefully get the county's concerns up higher than the monitoring and auditing department at the GLO so that we can be heard and have a more logical discussion than has happened so far via all the letters back and forth. But I don't have that letter for you yet, but as soon as I have approval on it, I will send it to you for your review.
Sounds good.
All right, thank you.
That's all I got.
Appreciate it.
All right, Johnny, you got anything? You good?
Covered it pretty well.
All right. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
All right, number 22, discuss and take action on Texas Association of Counties Walker County liability renewal for fiscal year 2023 through 2024 for Walker County coverage at a cost of $206,854, and for the 12th and 278th Judicial District CSCD coverage at a cost of $3,556 with policy revisions as noted. Any questions on that?
I just had one. The list of equipment listed is vehicles that drive down the road with a license plate. So, and I think you and Lucy had talked about, but I didn't really get her. I left before I got the answer from that was, what about the equipment that rides down the road without a license plate? We have a separate policy.
That one was passed. Y'all approved that in June, I believe.
Okay, all
Mobile
right.
equipment and property is on a separate one. This is auto liability,
Okay,
and it has increased from 183 up to the 206. That is just,
like everything else.
yes, correct.
All right, thank you, Alec. Appreciate it. I make the motion. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I had one question. So there is a vehicle in there, and I guess I'll get with Ally later about it that I have a question about. But the process, I'm assuming, we've changed the process in how we're even making claims with this, I'm assuming. I mean, are we still going? So is it still, is it still going to you solely or to your office and then going to purchasing, or is it strictly with your office?
It's gonna be a cooperation of both.
Purchasing has been making the claims as they did before. We were just not being notified. As far as it going to insurance, I'm the one that has been corrected all the discrepancies and made it up to date for what y'all are specifically approving today. Was the drivable vehicles on the road.
So if we have somebody have a wreck, what happens?
They need to notify our office, judge's office, and purchasing. And then, Ms. Cheryl has been doing the claim, and then we go back and forth with TAC. And we're all looped in on the same email.
All right, this is the one I've got a question about. It's no big deal. It's just the actual price on it. So I'll catch it with you sometime later.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Moving second, all in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries. Number 23, discuss and take action on appointment of Walker County representatives, Judge Cole Christian, and the reappointment of Commissioner Ronnie White and Trey Wharton to the City of Huntsville Tax Increment Reinvestment Zone #1 Tiers Board of Directors for 2-year term.
Make a motion, we accept number 23.
You're such a kind guy.
I didn't want you getting myself.
I'll second it. Moved and seconded, all in favor, raise your right hand.
It hurts.
Motion carries. 24, discuss and take action to ratify Texas Department of Motor Vehicle in possession of optional fees calendar year 2024.
I'll weigh in on this.
Okay.
And does this, there's a deadline on when that is submitted. It got missed inadvertently. And so the judge was in a situation where he had to go ahead and sign off on it and submit it by the deadline. There is no change whatsoever to what has been done in the previous years.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
Moving second, all in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries. 25, discuss and take action on recompete pilot program grant application. I put a copy of the information in there for y'all. This is just it's kind of like those tech hubs we did the other day, but this is for, you can do infrastructure. You can help people relocate, all that. It's going to be a $500,000 2-year program to begin with. And then once you get that, you're eligible for a $50 million grant. Same stipulations. So as the tech hub, this is just based on bringing businesses back that were once here before. So
is it something we do here at the county or what?
So we're working with Sam Houston on this to do some of the educational side of it, because we don't have a grant writer. So they're helping with the application on it. We're looking more focused on the timber industry, sawmills, bringing in a facility to help make laminated beam structures, growing some hydrogen capture facilities, that kind of stuff. So we had to do a whole proposal on it, but this is just to get started, and then we'll have 2 years to work a big proposal up. So.
Okay.
That's your motion.
That's my motion.
Second.
Moving seconded, all in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries. 26, discuss and take action on disturbance of unclaimed capital credits in the amount of $17,601.10.
Is that what we usually give to Sam Houston?
It is. Yep, that's small business.
Yes.
Development.
That's what we're doing again.
If you make that motion.
That's my motion.
I'll second that.
Moving seconded, all in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries. I'm gonna turn it over to Mr. White.
Andrew, like you're up. We think you're up.
No.
He's just booking.
Leave it now.
That's
All
what
right,
it
we
is.
said.
All right, number 27. Discuss and take action on Ty Phillips' request for variance to section 5 of the Walker County subdivision regulations regarding amending plats to be allowed to proceed under section 232.010 the Texas Local Government Code to convey portions of platted lot via whatever you call it, meets and bounds description for lot 16C of the Buckhorn Acres subdivision, Thomas Robert Survey, comma, I'll put that in there for y'all. A-771 Buckhorn Acres Drive, Precinct 4. Andy.
Okay, this is the original, if you guys will remember, several weeks ago, we did a 232.01 for a corner of the same subdivision. Same family involved, as a matter of fact. This is another tract that they have that was divided. This is the original plat you're looking at here, showing plot 16C, showing it a little over 8 acres. Rich Jones. It's actually,
Yeah, there it is right there.
this is sort of what it looks like. They all understand right. This is a 5 acre tract here in the middle, 3 and 1.56. I know you do math, that's not 8, right? Well, the deed for this tract says that when they resurveyed it, they found out that the original acreage was acre, and the 9.56 was the actual acreage. It's in the meets and bounds description. So what they're requesting is this original 5 acre tract was divided out of 16C in 1996. When it was divided, it effectively in 3 tracts, piece in the middle. They're asking for the court to allow meets and bounds descriptions for the 3 tracts. And for those properties to be allowed to be conveyed under meets and bounds without having to file a replat. So similar application to what they've done before. That was for 2. This is for 3. Like I said, the original split occurred in 1996, which would, for a trivia sake, was the year that we adopted the last subdivision policy that we had before the one we have now. Obviously, quite a long time ago.
So are they selling it now or what's going on with it? Why are they?
They haven't mentioned to me that they're in the process of a sale. That I remember, it's they cleaned up that other one, and it was a permit issue that brought it up. And I think they're trying to get this cleaned up now that they know they need to get it cleaned up.
What do we do on the other one?
It was the other one was.
Yeah.
Move to approve.
I think I'm okay with it. And I'm gonna second the motion, but generally we exempt the big survey and plat for when we have this guy's got 120 acres and I want to cut 1 acre out of the corner. This is a 9 acre tract being cut into 3 pieces.
Yes.
So in fact, we did one before just a little while ago. It's hard to say you can't do this one now, but I don't think I want us for that to become our method of operation.
So the intent of the replat is without the replat, the original plat, without a replat of record, the original plat becomes sort of corrupt over the years.
Right.
So the replat process is intended to keep the original plat, any revisions of record so that they can be tracked.
Okay.
This particular revision is fairly rarely used by the court.
Right.
It's usually have been used in the past by previous courts when there was an old transfer of property that happened 30 years ago or something like that, and they're trying some great way to clean it up. And the court has used that tool in their toolbox, but I don't disagree with what you're saying. Intent of the replat and plat process is to keep everything up and records up and everything coming to meet code. Because there was no plat originally granted, if they were to file a replat on this, it would come in under our current standards.
Yeah.
And they would have to meet the current standards for the replat.
Yeah.
Which means they'd be coming back for exemption.
Right.
They may be. I don't know. This track was actually the way it was divided off of the road. They have frontage for all the tracks.
Right.
They may have some
Lots of
issues and stuff like that, but it's better than some I've seen for sure.
Okay, well, I'm good with the second on.
Any more discussion?
No, sir.
We got a motion and a second. All 4, raise your right hand. Motion carries. All right, number 28. Discuss and take action on right-of-way acquisition report for Colt Morgan Christian and Kelsey Marie Christian, 88.50 acre tract on Lumber Road in the John Cray Survey, A109 precinct 2. All right, that's actually mine. Colt and Christie, Kelsey's mom had actually given part of this right away many years ago.
Yeah.
And this is just the rest of the right of way where she stopped to get us through that bottom. We're fixing to actually put a tank car culvert in, and it will assist us also in doing that and get us right away.
Is that spot that always floods?
Yeah, right in that bottom where it floods. Now that thing washed out all back in one of the hurricanes. What was it? That's I forgot, but And we didn't have a culvert to put in it big enough, and we put a small culvert in it, and luckily it's been dry ever since then. So we got the culvert to go, we just need some right of way to be able to work.
Oh, tracks. All right. That's what you're talking about, the low area.
It will be. All right. My motion is to approve this, and it's got 1,813 feet approximately to be taken. Believe, if I remember right, we're doing the clearing and we're paying them by the foot. All right, I'll second that motion.
So we have it on the agenda as the right of way acquisition and then followed by the acceptance of the right of way.
Right.
Both.
So this is acquisition report.
Okay, I second your motion.
All right, we got a motion and a second. All four, raise your right hand. Motion carries. All right, number 29, discuss and take action on acceptance of right-of-way easement from Colt Morgan Christian and Kelsey Marie Christian, 88.50 acre tract on Loma Road in the John Crane Survey A109 Precinct 2. I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second. All four, raise your right hand. Motion carries. All right, number 30, discuss and take action on right-of-way acquisition report for Colt Morgan Christian, Kelsey Marie Christian, 87.47 acre tract on Loma Road in the John Crane Survey A109 Precinct 2. Part of the same right-of-way, just extending on, it's just two different tracks. So then it's got, let me catch up, 1,400 and what, 90? 1,490 feet associated with it. That's my motion to approve.
You know, one side of the road or both sides of the road?
Same side of the road, runs on one side.
I'll second that motion.
Got a motion and a second. All four, raise your right hand. Motion carries. Number 31, discuss and take action on acceptance of right-of-way easement from Colt Morgan Christian and Kelsey Marie Christian, 87.47 acre tract on Loma Road in the John Crane Survey A109 Precinct 2. Same thing, just acceptance of the right-of-way.
All right.
My motion is to approve.
I'll second it.
Got a motion and a second. All four, raise your right hand. Motion carries.
Okay.
Number 32, discuss and take action on allocation of additional funds for engineering service contracts. And
Better year for new development, which means it's also been a better year for this instance. I'm asking to add $35,000. That's not all need it all, but I hate to come back again, but this will cover needs approved fiscal year.
Okay.
And at the end of the year, I guess we can come up with some numbers to see if we're charging enough to cover this.
Yeah, I mean, with the amount of development we've had, like I said, this is the highest expenditure year on usually by far highest intake year on the application.
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Where is it funded from?
I don't know.
Yeah, Patricia.
General fund contingency or come from. I think.
Ms. Patricia.
Yes, that's good.
General fund contingency.
We got a motion.
I make the motion to approve agenda item 32 in the amount of $35,000 be paid for from general fund contingency.
Got a motion in 2 seconds. All four, raise your right hand. Motion carries.
Okay.
Anybody got anything for the betterment of the court or the worst of the court? Most time they don't add that part, but I do.
We'll never know.
I guess we got nothing. We're going to adjourn. Is that 10:42?
Yes.
Or 43.
10:43? Just turned 43. We'll go with 40.